Are we back? Are we back from a hiatus or whatever? Students of the game back in the building. Ain't nobody got to work. Ain't nobody got to go nowhere.
Nope.
Dr. Joseph
Not
Gregory,
tonight.
Dr. Chris Rouse. I can't say, well, Dr. Justin Adams isn't here, so he must be doing something.
probably
SOTG 9,
probably being a dad.
149 in full effect. Might be a dad, might be being a dad or something.
Yeah, man. He got that
Yeah, but we,
newborn.
yeah, we here though. We here. We in the building, man. So,
Yeah, we are, man.
um, you see the social media tags. We're here at King Rouse 21, at Joe Stuff 710, at JA underscore the realist. We are here in full effect. Not a lot of news of the day. News came out early today that Cardinals defensive end JJ Watt will miss the rest of the season with a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
And right now, as far as the NBA action goes, right now you got the Bulls and the Knicks in action right now. They're getting 55-51 at halftime, New York leading. And
Yeah.
right now, late in the first quarter, or actually just going to the end of the first quarter, the Green Bay Packers trailing the Arizona Cardinals 7-0 at the end of one in the Thursday night game in the desert, big game in the NFC. Chase Edmonds, an 11-yard touchdown run in that game, and that's it, man. We here.
We here. We in the building, man. You watching Thursday night football. I'm watching the Bulls and the Knicks, man. So we trying to keep it covered all
Now,
the
for
way.
everybody that's watching, because he like to do like he gets to choose what we watch.
Oh, I ain't do that. I ain't do that.
He chooses what we watch.
Hey, I'm not
Um,
the boss. I'm not the boss here, bro. I just happen to have the Bulls game on first, and I'm not changing.
that's that's BS. He's using his celebrity status
Oh,
to
come on,
show
man.
what he wants to watch. Um,
We got a Windy City game tomorrow anyway, man. Exhibition.
okay.
Yeah, man. We
Well,
back. We back and we back and we back.
I
Man,
believe
Chance the rapper.
the NFL is the first thing on our docket today.
Right there for you.
Um, bear down. It was a tough bearing down last week, as we already know, as we really discussed on Joe the other day, with the 38-3 debacle down in Tampa. So let's look forward a little bit to this weekend's game with the San Francisco 49ers. Now Jimmy Garoppolo, I guess, is on par to start on in line to start the second straight game, coming back from injury. 49ers lost on Sunday night to the Colts. Bears, I'm not going to relive what happened to you guys on Sunday.
You mean what
So
should have happened?
yeah, I mean, so what's the
Mm-hmm.
outlook on this game? Because I thought coming into the season, you had a couple of teams that mirrored each other a little bit, but Jimmy Garoppolo is 49ers trying to see if he's the right man for the job. You got this incumbent kid Trey Lance that they picked in the draft that they want to bring along. They still want to win. We've seen what happened in Chicago now. Andy Dalton has been replaced at the starting QB1 spot by Justin Fields, but just doesn't seem like they have a real plan for him or something here. Is right now he's only got a couple of touchdowns. He's got 6 interceptions. He's been sacked 22 times, which leads the league. He's got the worst QBR in the league. Is AJ Dillon with a tough second effort on a 4th-and-1 run deep in Arizona territory. Gets a first down. They're inside the 10 now. But yeah. So I mean, Matt Nagy and the staff just look like they were really I want to say underprepared and overwhelmed by the job of having to train or develop a first-round talent like Justin Fields. That's what it looks like to me right now. For these first, I say, 6 games of his NFL career, not counting the Ram game.
Well, this I feel like this just all goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the season. It comes down to, can they withstand the pressure? Can you withstand the pressure of having to go with Justin Fields long term if something happens to Andy Dalton? I mean, Nagy all off season. Andy Dalton, this our guy, this our QB1. Soon as he go
Yeah,
down, Justin Fields is in there, and apparently they ain't turning back to Andy Dalton. So, and I mean, look, let's be real. We all know Justin Fields was going. We all knew he was going to be the starter at some point coming in. So
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But what's happening is you got a Bears team that has a very bad offensive line. I mean, they got a lot of injuries, and then you got guys that they're third string. They're going up against some of the top defensive linemen in the league. And I mean, what do you expect to happen? Tampa Bay is one of the best defensive teams in the league. They showed that in the Super Bowl. So what happened Sunday was what I expected to happen.
Yeah, and I just also think the not willing to make adjustments in the middle of the game. I mean, let's chip some of the defensive ends or max protect with leave a tight end or something. You got guys that like the third string tackles on islands. Jason Peters used to be an all-pro tackle. He's not an all-pro tackle no more, bro. I mean, Shaq Barrett proved that. I mean, Myles Garrett proved it. I mean, Nick Bole's on his way to the hotel somewhere downtown tomorrow, so you got people coming in, man. So you're going to have to figure out some type of scheme, because this is I think one of those critical winnable games for the next 2 weeks. And I think really for the future of Matt Nagy, the immediate future. If you can't beat San Francisco, who's kind of struggling, and you can't beat Pittsburgh, who hasn't been world beaters up until this point, and you got a bye week coming after that, you start looking around then, and you're 3-6.
And you got Baltimore out of the bye.
Yeah, so I think these are some very, very critical 2-week stretch right here for the Bears. So, I mean, we'll see what happens at Soldier Field. Like I said, San Francisco, they've been struggling a little bit trying to find themselves offensively. Elijah Mitchell had a pretty good game for them on Sunday night against the Colts. But, yeah, I think it's a game where if the Bears can force a couple of turnovers like we've seen them do, and stick to the run and try to keep Justin Fields clean, I mean, they'll have a chance to win. I mean, this is a game probably right in line with the Raider game or the Lion game, So, but they got to be on point. Hey, you got to be on point. You got to block balls in them, because if you don't, I mean, man, it's gonna be tough.
I'm more so worried about Justin Fields mentally, how the frustration can grow when you keep getting hit like that every week, and then your team is losing 38-3. Especially after when you think about what Justin Fields has been doing, he's actually he's been pretty good. I mean, he's made good decisions. He's done a good job of getting mobile when he's supposed to, stepping up in the pocket. But on the flip side of that, he's also had some really bad throws. But you have to wonder how much of that is a factor because of how bad that offensive line can be at times. So moving forward with Justin Fields, I just worry about where he may be mentally with this Bears team moving forward in terms of staying in Chicago and the pressure to actually win for this team moving forward. What you said about Nagy, wholeheartedly agree. I think this is a huge game for the Bears. I honestly think, man, if the Bears lose this game, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Matt Nagy get a quick pink slip. We see it early, see it in November, man. You see the Bears fall to 3-5 against the Niners team that would go to 3-4 and will then own a tiebreaker over you. That's also kind of in the same spot with the Andy Dalton, Justin Fields, Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance situation. It kind of has to make that front office look within a little bit. So I think we might see some changes if the Bears lose to the Niners.
Aaron Jones has just scored from 3 yards out. The Packers tied the Cardinals 7-7. Yes.
I wanted to do this, but not for no Packers, man.
Is Aaron Jones part of your fantasy teams?
Nope. I said not for no Pack. No Pack. I don't draft.
Well, you don't have a reason to do that. You don't draft Packers.
I don't draft Packers, bro.
You really against this winning thing and fantasy thing, huh?
Nah, if I can make my roster the best it can be without Packers, I'm good. Terry McLaurin is just fine, bro.
All right. I'm a Devontae Adams owner, even though he's not playing tonight because of COVID. We'll figure it out, hopefully, against Derek Tate.
Look, I love watching Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams play football. They just play for the wrong team, man. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it does.
Okay. They just play for the wrong team.
Like I say, the Packers and the Cardinals Thursday night football right now, 7-7. Two of the better teams in the NFC right now. Packers with a nice little cushion right now in the NFC North coming into the night at 6-1. You got Minnesota, who had a bye last week at 3-3. You got the Bears at 3-4.
What about Detroit? What? It's a valid question. You talking NFC North? There was no troll involved in that. I thought that was a valid question. That was a valid question, man. You talking NFC North?
It's too damn early for that. Too damn early. It's too damn early.
Man, all I asked is what about Detroit? You didn't say Detroit's record.
They're perfect. They're imperfectly perfect. Yeah. If that makes
Detroit
sense.
Lions.
They're
Detroit Lions
imperfect.
0-7. 0-7 Detroit Lions. There we go.
Yeah, they're like 6 games back right now. That's the 7 games in. Okay, I mean, why are you laughing?
Why you say that? Hey, you what you talking about?
You want to keep pressing me. You want to keep pressing me to say something about them when their record right now is really irrelevant to the playoff race and anything in the NFC picture right now. And now you're gonna sit here and laugh. You know, we have Detroit fans that might be following our show, and they're not gonna follow us if we're just laughing and dismissing them.
Hey, Detroit, it's all love, man. I want to go to that M&M's restaurant, Mom's Spaghetti. I gotta go.
Another thing that has nothing to do with Detroit and their 0-7 record. The Cardinals are 7-0. The Rams, only one game ahead of the Rams, so they've already beaten right now.
So that means the Cardinals are 7 games up on Detroit, and Green Bay is 6 games up on Detroit. Is what you're telling me?
That's what you just told us.
Hey, what are the 2 famous hashtags that you once said?
Be informed and be entertained.
And I'm informing. That's all I'm doing.
I don't know how entertaining you
I can't help if they entertained by it.
Rondale Moore just lost 2 yards on a reverse for the Cardinals. What do you think about how this NFC is shaping up right now? You talked about how this game right now. We've already seen the Cardinals beat the Rams in their first meeting. We've seen Green Bay already. We've seen them lose to the Saints. Don't know how much of an impact that's going to have down the road. I don't know if the Saints are going to be able to catch Tampa Bay in that division. We'll see. They play on Sunday on the big game. So, just trying to see how this might be shaping up in this NFC, man. No, Dallas hasn't really played. They play the Cardinals at the end of the year. We'll see how much impact that has then. But really, I look at the NFC. I think the best team right now, far and away, is the Cardinals. Then, to me, it's the Rams. And then I think I had Cardinals, Rams, Buccaneers. Then I would say maybe a tie for maybe the 4th or 5th spot would be Green Bay and Dallas right now.
Do you remember what I said on the show when the Buck? I forgot if it was Sotg or Joe with Joe. But when the Bucks and the Rams played, I said whoever lost that game is who's gonna win the NFC. And right now, Tampa Bay has been the best team in the NFC. Now I know they beat the Bears, and no shots to my fellow Bears fans. But I mean, come on, dude. I expected a blowout. 38-3 was generous. You know, that is actually kind of generous.
It was when you consider that terrific goal line, that terrific momentum saving goal line stand that the Bears had in the third quarter to keep the lead within 4 possessions. You know,
Amen.
I thought that was huge.
I thought 38-3 was generous. So Tampa Bay, I think Tampa Bay is gonna win the NFC, man. It's gonna come down to them and the Rams. I had Seattle in there in that mix, but without Russell Wilson, I don't know. Actually, Dallas looks good, but I mean, a lot of that is the NFC. The rest of the division is bad. But also Dallas. Hold on, Joe. Hold up your star. I like the linebackers on that Cowboys defense, man. I've been saying that all season, man. Really turning things around for Dallas this year. So we got to shout them out. The South, I mean, that's going to Tampa. The North, Green Bay's running away with that. I mean, I had Detroit making the playoffs. Come on, man. At the beginning of the season. Hold on, let me say. At the beginning of the season, I had Detroit making the playoffs. Not now. At the beginning of the season, I like the receivers, but it's not working out so well.
You had Detroit make the playoffs? Man,
remember we did.
You said.
Remember? Yeah. If I get it wrong, call me out. I'll call you out.
All right, well, you definitely got that wrong.
You see what Roddy Reflex had to say.
It's What's up, brothers? How you feeling, man? How you feeling? That's that first play. He wasn't calling when it was losing. The Bears called. He didn't call. He didn't call. Wasn't no call. But once,
Yeah, he was
once,
quiet when we beat him.
when the Chiefs start going downhill, beat up on them Eagles, help me out a little bit. Now it's up. What's up? What's up? Wow, what's that? But yeah, man. So I don't know, man. This Detroit thing, man.
No, at the beginning of the year. I'm saying at the beginning of the year, I thought they put good pieces around Jared Goff because I do like those receivers like Khalif Raymond and Cephas. I do like those receivers, and then you got Hawkinson. I thought it would be a much more high flying offense. I ain't expecting to come out here and get smacked like that every week.
I mean, in their defense, there's been some very dramatic smacks. If you think about the first week when they fell behind, what was it, 41-15? Then they start recovering. Then they become the onside kick geniuses of the world and recover 2 of those and end up losing by 8. Then they lose by 19-17 twice on 54-yard and 66-yard field goals. You got Dan Campbell's really just emotionally all over the place.
Get you worse than you got us.
Kneecaps. He's crying like he's watching his favorite soap opera. The next minute, I mean, I don't know. This team's just everywhere. Oh, what? Wow. I mean, they are. I mean, it's a. Oh, yeah. I want to see the Lions. Let me just tell you also.
Win. I want to see the Lions win, man. Because if he been crying when they lose, I want to see him cry and get his first NFL win, man. He deserves it.
And let me just tell you something. It's a difference between being wrong, and it's a difference just being just not even in the stratosphere of even the category of the question. And when you say Detroit is going to make the playoffs, I mean, to be 2-5 or 3-4 right now, you can say, okay, same old Detroit. But to be right now, to be 0-7 and have this emotionally unstable coach.
Why you got to be emotionally unstable? He just wears heart on his sleeve, man. It ain't his fault they keep losing.
He's went from hitting people in the testicles.
Well, maybe it is.
He went from hitting people in the testicles to to tears. That's what he's done. Hitting people in the testicles to shedding teardrops.
Hey, Rod, I see that, but I'm not posting that, dog. I'm not putting that on the show. I'm not gonna post you being disrespectful to teams on my show.
Okay, I don't even know which team it was.
It's the Chiefs.
Oh boy! Shout out to my good friend Ray Castillo, who's a very diehard Chiefs fan.
We being respectful. We being respectful this week, man. This ain't gonna be an explicit show, man.
Why are we being respectful?
We knew we're not gonna. All right, maybe at 9:00, but
maybe at 9:00. Oh, you say that after you laugh at Detroit like that. Let's do some pick.
Hey, Rider Reflex says Detroit's coach is soft. SAWFT. Soft. It's a wrestling thing. You wouldn't get it.
I see that.
Enzo Amore and Big Cass.
Let's get into some of these pick'ems, man. Starting in the NFC South, Panthers and Falcons. Sam Darnold is struggling. Matt Ryan is rising, possibly, but whenever they play the Eagles, whenever they play the AFC East, they look good, you know. What you got? So,
Panthers
Panthers and Falcons.
Oh.
I'm taking the Dirty Birds. I mean, what's up with Sam Darnold, man? They started off with
that's the Dirty Bird, right? That's the Dirty Bird.
Jamal Anderson version.
Yeah, that dance hit the nation, bro. That dance was all over the place with the Mile High Salute. Remember they made the Super Bowl? Yeah, man. That was hot. I'm going with the Falcons too, though. That's why I was doing that, though. I'm going with the Falcons. To be funny.
I'm going with the Falcons. You're going with the Panthers.
No, I'm going with the Falcons.
Oh, okay. You're going with the Falcons.
No, that's why I just said. That's why I was doing the dance, the Dirty Bird. I'm going with the Falcons too.
I thought you were mocking them. You mock a lot of people. Dolphins and Bills. Tua Tagovailoa is, he's 1-6. They won their first game and they haven't won since then.
That's
the Bills are coming in off a bye. And I mean, you got some, you're jinxing people. I'm going with the Bills big, Buffalo Mafia, they jump through tables and stuff like that before the games. They get really geeked up.
If only Scott Norwood's field goal could have jumped through the uprights. Oops.
Yeah. Josh Allen's an MVP candidate. I'm going. What's wrong? Josh Allen is an MVP candidate.
No, I liked how you tried to gloss over what I said about Norwood's field goal.
Oh, yeah, well,
Scott Norwood's field goal to jump through them uprights.
Try to.
He tried to. Rider Reflex, he's taking Buffalo. I also am taking Buffalo. So shout out Benny the Butcher, man.
Right. Shout out, and this next one, shout out Kanye West as the
I like that
49ers.
album. I like
Shout
that
out
album.
Ye. 49ers
Oh,
against the
yeah.
Bears.
Well, I mean, the Bears better win this game, man. They better win this game, man. Nagy gonna be in some trouble if they don't. But I think they'll get it done. San Francisco getting up to have to play early. It'd be a 12 o'clock start, so that's like what 9 o'clock on Pacific time. So yeah, the Bears I think they'll have that going for them, and they'll get the Niners this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 49ers. I'm gonna go with Rider Reflex here. I hear him saying the 49ers declaw the Bears. I just don't trust I don't trust the Matt Nagy offensive or Bill Lazor, who's ever running. I don't trust this offensive schemes to trust Justin Fields. Robbery game in the AFC North, and the loser might be in trouble early. It's the Steelers and the Browns. The Baker man doesn't like he's going to play this week. It might be Case Close Keenum again. But Browns.
Case closed. Keenum.
What do you think?
I'm going with the Steelers, man. I mean, I keep seeing all the jokes about Ben Roethlisberger, how he gaining weight. The Joe Burrow leading the AFC, Ben Roethlisberger eating the KFC. I keep seeing all the joke memes and all that. But I think Pittsburgh is about to have one of their patented late November runs and go and not win the AFC North, but get into the playoffs, get into the AFC playoffs.
I mean,
and I think this is the start. And then because they got the Bears coming up, so I think you'll see them reel off 2 straight.
And it's amazing they can start off this late November run on Halloween.
Scary hours, bro.
That's
Scary
amazing.
Hours.
A late November run on the last day of October.
Man, somebody give me a terrible towel, man. The Steelers are my new Lions. The Steelers are my new Lions. That's the team I'm gonna believe in that I had no business believing in. Act like I got a terrible towel, man.
Browns are still pretty beat up. They might get Nick Chubb back. That's not gonna be enough for me to not pick. It's not gonna be enough for me to not pick the Steelers. What's next up? They gonna get Nick Chubb back?
No, Ryder Reflex, he said Browns in a tight one, but after that he said Ben ate his burger.
Oh. Hey, Chris, don't laugh, please. I know he's gonna laugh. When I tell him don't laugh, that's like telling him to laugh. It's like telling a 2-year-old don't pick something up. Eagles against the Lions. Don't scare me. Pick a team.
Where they at? Where they playing at?
They're gonna be in Detroit.
Are they in Detroit?
Yes.
Man, give it to Detroit. Dan Campbell gets his first win, man. Lions 24-21. Jared Goff leads him in the field goal range, and then he throws an interception, and then they get the ball back off of a Philadelphia turnover, and then they kick the game-winning field goal.
I'm going just the opposite. I think Jalen Hurts get it? Jalen Hurts. See what I did with that? Jalen Hurts the Lions feelings again late. They win 19. The Lions lose 19-17 again for the third time this year.
Rider Reflex says Eagles as well, but hey, Detroit, man, look, y'all ain't gonna make the playoffs for me, man. Give me this one, man. Be the week. This gotta be the week y'all get that first win. And I can actually watch football this week. So come on, man. Give me the win, man. Give me the win. What you got?
I am looking to see if that ball was touched. That ball was touched. Rondale Moore just muffed a punt. They're going to review this. They're going to review this, and Green Bay's going to have the ball at the Arizona 3-yard line.
That's tough.
First and goal when they come back. He tried to put his hands out like that, and the ball, you can see the ball hitting his finger. They're going to review this, and it's going to get reversed. Titans and Colts, big game in the AFC South. The Colts are the only other functional team in this division besides the Titans. Well, I guess it is a little bit of disrespect and shade thrown toward the Texans and the Jaguars.
Right, you talk about me, man. Whoa, tell me how you really feel about the AFC South and Justin's team, man.
I mean, I just told you.
Wow,
I
man, you just let the chopper ring off at them teams, bro.
Brrrah.
Come on, man.
I'm taking
Talk about me, man.
even though Carson Wentz has looked better in this game, but this Tennessee team, like they're starting to find their stride, they're starting to roll. I'm going with Tennessee.
Man, you know me, bro. You know I'm going with the Tennessee Titans, man. I mean, Derrick Henry, man, is just an amazing football player. I mean, like this dude. Do you see how this man plays football every week? Like I need
Man
to see
amongst
somebody.
boys.
I mean, I need to see somebody slow Derrick Henry down, man. And I just don't see anybody doing it this weekend, this coming weekend on that Coast team. Who, I mean, they got the good win on Sunday, but they got it against the Niners. So, but I mean, Tennessee is just too good. And plus, you know how I feel about Derrick Henry, man.
That boy can flat out play football. Out, and he can pass.
You can't pass. You gotta watch that halfback option with old Derrick Henry. Gotta watch that halfback option.
You know how I feel about Derrick Henry, man.
How about the best game of the season possibly played by Cincinnati last week, and they ran away from Baltimore. Man. Now this week they go to take on the suddenly Zach Wilson-less Jets, who will be starting Mike White at quarterback. And if I seen Mike White right now at my door, I would not know who he was for the life.
Honestly, you know, I'm gonna be real with you. When you first said Mike White, I thought Pat White from West Virginia back in like the late 2000s. You number 5. You know what I'm talking about with
Pat White, but his name isn't Mike. Yeah, Pat, I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, with Noel Devine and Slayton and all them dudes. You know what I'm talking about. You watch college football.
The call has been reversed. The Rondale Moore did touch the ball, like I said, and Green Bay will get the ball. They're going to mark it at the 2-yard line. It'll be at the Arizona 2.
65-56. Knicks lead the Bulls 8:35 in the third. RJ Barrett was laying out for a loose ball, but he couldn't keep his hands on it.
Okay.
Well, that's why I kept looking. I'm like, whoa, okay.
I guess Rondale Moore probably shouldn't have his hands on it. Joe Burrow and like I said, Joe Burrow and the Jets. Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Excuse me. What a catch!
Oh, what a catch!
Oh my God! Is that a catch? They're looking at oh my good. We just saw the catch of the year by Mercedes Lewis. Oh my goodness! He stuck one hand out and made the catch. We might have a reversal here. We're looking at the feet.
Oh,
Let me see. Tough. One, he's out. The second foot is out. They're gonna bring. Oh my goodness! He just stuck one hand out and speared the ball. Just speared it out of midair.
Man, you said that was the catch of the year. You about to tell me it didn't count? So it's not really the catch of the year?
I'm gonna say it was the best almost catch of the year.
Oh, that's tough. But you said Jets Bengals, right?
Yes, Jets and Bengals. I'm going. I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm going Bengals.
Rider Reflex said Jets never leave the airport, and I'm right there with him because the Bengals are gonna shred the Jets. I mean, the Bengals have just been amazing this season. Man, I didn't see that coming this year.
You know what I'm looking like this?
I didn't see it coming this year. Why?
But you know what I'm looking because you saw the game that we just had to pick, and now the next one that we have to pick. Rams and Texans.
Who's the home team?
The Texans. Doesn't
matter. Rams. No, it didn't matter. But Rams. I was curious.
Neutral field. Neutral field. Fan with no stands. Open dome. Astrodome. Reliance Stadium. Wherever.
Hey man, believe in Davis Mills, man. But Rams.
Yeah, you can believe in it, just don't do it this week. I'm taking the sheep big. Chargers off a bye. Patriots are in town.
Rodder Reflex, he said Rams, by the way, but Chargers, Patriots. I'm gonna go with Herbert. Justin Herbert, man. I got Justin Herbert and the Chargers, man, going for the win over the Patriots, man. Chargers looking good, man. And that AFC West as a whole has been fun to watch. I mean, yes, Kansas City's been falling apart, but watching teams run the score up on them has been fun to watch. And then the Raiders, I've liked what I've seen out of Derek Carr this season. Justin Herbert's progressing. Even the Broncos, when they looked like frauds earlier this year, they were still fun to watch a little bit.
I'm taking the Chargers. Taking the Chargers in a very tight, in a game that people think is going to be going in a good close game.
Yeah,
Jaguars. This week, it came down to the wire again for Geno Smith, and he didn't get it done again. Another tough loss for the Seahawks. They've lost their last 3 games by 6-3-3, and this week they host the suddenly hot Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars versus who? Jaguars versus who? I'm just joking. I already heard you. Don't matter. The other team.
I'm taking Jacksonville
Seattle.
on the road.
I got Seattle, man.
I'm taking Jacksonville on the road. I am.
Seattle's defense. I think Seattle's defense will get them this win.
Oh yeah.
And they're not even one of the best. And they're not even one of the best defensive teams. I just think against.
But they gotta want to throw the ball every now and then. I mean, geez, did you see that game plan against the Saints?
I feel you, but I mean, you're going up against Jacksonville, so I mean, you got a shot to actually get away with that this week with defensively. So, I think Seattle might do that.
The Washington football team, led by Taylor Heineke, takes on Teddy Two-Step Bridgewater. They visit Mile High, take on Denver.
I'm gonna go with Denver just because of the home field advantage being in the Rocky Mountains with the altitude. I mean, I like Terry McLaurin. I expect him to have a big game, but I think Denver, once again, man, another one of those games where, fraud or not fraud for Denver, and they're going up against Washington, who's a weaker team in terms of record. So you expect Denver to beat Washington in this game. Yeah,
I expect a big bounce back by Vic's boys at home against the Washington football team. Buccaneers and Saints. I mean, if anybody's going to challenge the Bucs in the South, it's going to be the Saints. Beat them 2 times in the regular season last year before that strip changed everything in the divisional playoff, and Tampa Bay went on to win the Super Bowl and everything. Now you get Tampa Bay coming here 6-1, Saints 4-2 off that big Monday night road win in Seattle. The Jameis and Alvin show.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. That's all I need. I don't got to say nothing else.
Tampa Bay in a very close game.
I literally just saw Tampa Bay firsthand. I don't need to say nothing else. Just Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay in a very close game. I mean, you saw him against a team. You saw him against I'm not going to say anything about Matt Nagy. Besides, he has COVID. And he did test positive for that after Joe on Monday. That's all I'm gonna say. Sunday night football.
Rodder Reflex says the Saints ain't gonna be in that number. Tom is too slick.
Yeah, I see that. Green Bay started a drive at the 2-yard line and had to settle for 3 points. Let's talk about tougher than a $2 steak.
Julius Randle tried to baptize Nikola Vucevic.
I'm glad it didn't work. You see that Sunday night football. You see that. I don't have the sunglasses on because the vacation is over. But will Dak Prescott play? We don't know, but we know the rest of the Dallas Cowboys will. And they'll be playing the Minnesota Vikings. Kurt, aunties, nieces, and cousins. Not playing too bad this year. Vikings at 3-3 after a slow start. Who you got?
If Dak plays, I got Dallas. If he does not, I think Minnesota will win. Just because, kind of like how you feel about Seattle with Geno, you got to be able to move the ball. You got to be able to throw it at some point. And I think a lot of that, a lot of the offense will run through Zeke at that point, so that'll allow Minnesota to key on him. So it comes down to whether or not Dak plays. So if he plays, Dallas. If not, Minnesota.
I'm going to go with Dallas. Whether Dak plays, if Dak doesn't play, Cooper rushes to the rescue, and I won't be as confident, but I'm just gonna hold out hope. Hold out hope and say Dallas. Monday Night Football, my nephew's team against my best friend's team. It's the Chiefs against the Giants.
Mm.
What you mean? Yeah. Rider reflex. You better worry about Raider biz. We'll see. We play y'all later on this year. Don't worry about it. We'll get to y'all. We're gonna get to y'all.
Ryder Reflex said Dallas ain't ready to fold up yet, but he picked Dallas nonetheless. So Chiefs and the Giants?
Yeah.
What's with these lopsided mismatches, man? The Chiefs need a win badly, bro. So I
Yeah, it
think this
doesn't
is
look
where
so lopsided when you're talking about a team that get what about 24 and 18 points the last couple of times out.
yeah,
Talking
but
about the Chiefs.
they're going against the Giants. I think they'll get right. New York,
Oh,
the
okay.
Giants a lot of times this season are beating themselves. Like that game against Washington back in week 2 on Thursday Night Football. So we're going with Kansas City to win this game, man. New York just offensively. I mean, they look pretty good against Carolina, who's also struggling, but I think Kansas City get back on track.
Kansas City's also struggling too, but we're gonna take Kansas City just because.
Yeah, I mean,
just because we are. Right now in this NFL game we're watching, the Packers lead in time of possession 16 minutes and some change to like under 8 minutes for the Cardinals.
Look who's in the chat, Joe. Your nephew. He said you better
I
stop.
better stop what?
He better stop because we took the Chiefs over the Giants.
I mean, if you think the Giants gonna beat the Chiefs, you could think that. That's clearly your own opinion.
Ryder Reflex, he took Giants because personal vendetta against the Chiefs.
That's understandable. I'm gonna watch this last play. Kyler Murray before I delve into some NBA stuff. As Murray drops back, he's in the pocket. He's being chased and he's throwing it, and the ball is knocked away.
Ball is knocked away.
The ball is
out of
knocked
bounds
away by number 29. Couldn't get a name on him. Like looks like still couldn't get a name on him. Ran away. Pass was intended for AJ Green.
Intended for AJ Green.
The ball
Former
behind him.
That feels like an eternity ago, man, when he was on the Bengals.
It was Douglas who knocked the ball away. Yes, it was.
I feel like an eternity ago. He was on the Bengals.
No, it was an eternity ago. Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls had Joakim Noah night. That was very cool there in the second quarter where he had Ben Gordon and Carlos Boozer and everybody in the house, for Joakim Noah, man. Two-time All-Star, 2013 Defensive Player of the Year, declaring the night Joakim Noah night. And also making him an ambassador of the Bulls. C-Red. Right now, Chris is going to tell me the score of the Bulls game.
Yeah, it's 76-64 New York Knicks in the third quarter.
And this is the first of 13 games, and the Bulls will be playing
12
of the next 13 again. 12 of these next 13 starting tonight against playoff teams from last year. The only game with a playoff team not from last year is Golden State. You know how great they're playing right now, undefeated and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that score again?
76-64 New York with 4:42 in the third.
Oh boy. And they scared me on Monday night when they let the Raptors almost come back and win the game.
When they let it come down to the Fred VanVleet last second shot. The NBA 2K left, right, step back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it scared me a lot. So now we're going to get to the meat of the schedule. We're really going to find out what the Bulls are about after beating the Raptors, who didn't have Pascal Siakam, the Pistons 2 times who didn't have their first round pick, Cade Cunningham, and the Pelicans without Zion Williamson. So right now they're losing. Hopefully they can get it together. But maybe soon the Bulls might be on the other end of that injury thing because it was revealed a couple of days ago that Zach LaVine is going to be playing through I don't know how significant of a tear it is in this non-shooting hand, ligament right there by the thumb.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a small tear, partial tear, but he's going to be planning to play through it.
We're going to tough it out.
Yeah. So what do you think about the handling of this injury with Zach LaVine? You okay with it?
I thought it was his decision, man.
High pain threshold, how much can he take, whatever?
I thought it was his decision just did he want to play through it or not? And he decided to play through it. And I think this is a good look, man. I think it's a good look for the Bulls, man. Much different much different than what we've been seeing the past few years, where half the team be sitting on the sideline out with injuries. So now that you got Zach LaVine playing, I mean, that's a good look. I just think he doesn't want to miss out on the fun that we're seeing right now.
Right. I know that it's a tear. I just don't want it to get aggravated. The way Zach go to the rim hard. He go down hard. Sometimes he try to brace himself. Well, even if it's how bad, depending on how bad of an injury it is. I mean, just reaching in or having somebody come across your hands or whatever can do something. I guess. I mean, make it worse than it is or whatever, where he would have to sit out. So hopefully we won't get to that point where he's just gonna be out there just having to use one hand, and the other hand is just rendered just helpless at that time or whatever. So hopefully
I feel you.
We don't get to that point. But hey, I'm gonna trust the medical staff. I'm gonna trust Zach and say, hey.
And one of the other things you got to look out for is, man, especially with his play style, how he goes to the rim, he drives to the basket. So I see what you're saying about him hitting his arm, but hey, I thought it was his choice. I thought he wanted to play. Hey, Ryder Reflex, no, we don't have a phone number, man. So I mean, yeah.
We got phone numbers. We don't have a phone number for the show.
Right. This ain't like this ain't the State Street days, dog.
This ain't State Street.
This ain't State Street, bro.
Aaron Rodgers is thrown for 64 yards. It's at the 2-minute warning. The AR-12 has 10, and Kyler the Creator with 7. Facts and cards. So Green Bay hanging tough here in the desert against the undefeated Cardinals right here.
76-64 still, 4-15 now in the third.
James Harden is having a tough time right now in Brooklyn. He's had less than 15, I believe, 15 points or less the last 3 games. Last 5 games, I believe, fewer than 5 free throw attempts. He's having some turnovers. He's not shooting the ball well. And he's really talked about it a little bit last night after the loss to the Miami Heat. Brooklyn now 2-3. Really said he spent the summer really rehabbing that hamstring injury that knocked him out a lot of playoff time. He said he had that injury, I think, 3 different times during the span of last year. He really spent the summer just rehabbing that. Really didn't get a chance to play pickup ball or just get his wind up and get into a real rhythm. I mean, the other times when I have watched some James Harden lowlights, because there hasn't been too many highlights. There have been some times where like he's been, I guess we want to say this foul rule or whatever, but fouls not being called or whatever. There have been a couple of plays that I've seen him like, I was like, that kind of like a foul. And I'm kind of like that, like, okay, that's not a foul. I don't know what he's doing there. So I don't know if it's a combination of his conditioning and not being, I guess, in his regular playing rhythm or whatever, or I don't know if it's a combination of that with the rule changes.
Or I don't know. Possibly a lack of Kyrie, more focus on him because of a lack of Kyrie, because now you have the ball more.
Possible. Could be possible.
Possibly the fact that Brooklyn is the favorite in the East, so now everything you do is under a microscope. So
could be
every struggle you have, see the Lakers, is under a microscope. Like we saw, like last night they had a 26-point lead. They blew against OKC or something like that. So
shout out to Josh Giddey. Oh wow, that kid opened my eyes last night. I was on Twitter like, dang.
Hey, I tried to tell you. I tried to tell y'all on Facebook, man. Taller Ricky Rubio. I tried to tell y'all, man.
He almost was the GOAT with that bullet assist he hit to Carmelo Anthony from out of bounds, but he just didn't make the shot. But James Soften has been phoning it in for a while now.
Called him James Soften.
Who is James Soften?
Talking about James Harden. Right? You know, Robbie trying to play with words.
James Soften. Okay, that's a new one.
James Soften.
Almost thought he was miss saying James Lofton. Oh, Raiders great. See what I did with that.
Okay.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting to see if he can pull himself out of that. I think he can. I think he'll figure it out. He always has. He's been a top-notch scorer in this league for years. So I think it's just a small struggle here early in the season. Aaron Jones has a
possibly.
first down at the 50 with minute 18 left. Clock running. Go ahead.
Possibly, but Brooklyn's going through a lot right now. With the Kyrie, I think that everything they do is going to be overshadowed by Kyrie, much like everything Philadelphia does is going to be overshadowed by Ben Simmons, much like everything the Lakers do is going to be overshadowed just by the fact that, oh man, they got LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook. So, it's all going to come back to that and how it affects those guys in some form or fashion, or how those guys are affecting the team.
Speaking of those aforementioned Lakers, like they plus 26 in the second quarter against the Oklahoma City Thunder. No way in the world they're gonna blow that lead, right? Yeah, they're gonna blow it. They're gonna blow it. They're gonna blow it big. And Russell Westbrook, shout out to Chime Ogumake with saying he had a quadruple trouble. 20 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, and 10 turnovers. It is a quadruple trouble. Ooh.
Hey, shout out Josh Giddey, man. Had a great game. Shout out,
a terrific game.
Also, shout out Polo G. SGA. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shea Gilgeous, Polo G. You said
Polo
it right.
Polo Gilgeous.
Polo Gilgeous-Alexander.
Ever since you said that, I can't unsee that, bro. Every time I see Polo G now, I think his name is Polo Gilgeous for real now. It's like I'm gonna start telling people that. Like, yeah, his name's Polo Gilgeous.
I'm not going. Now I have to be nice because I guess technically since I'm married now, it's actually I don't know if I'm married into the family, but he's my cousin also. But I don't know how that works.
How Polo G is?
Yes, he's actually related to my wife.
I believe that because I see her on his social media. So yeah.
So.
supporting his social media and stuff. So I believe it. Shout out Justin, man. He slid through, man. He said, "Shout out why you talk about me? He come in the chat talk about this man. Leave his daughter. Come in the chat talk about shout out to Baisley for the dunk."
Well, I know. Well, Chris, I know you're a big fan of. I know you would have dunked it. I mean, you don't like this.
I would have dunked it.
You don't like this unwritten rule crap. I mean. And shout out to Kendrick Perkins because he showed up Russell Westbrook doing the same thing, getting an easy bucket when the game was in doubt.
Now let me say
Atlanta
this,
a few years ago.
Now let me say this about basketball though. Pull the ball back out, man. It's like, come on, dude. Why? It's like, or do it after the horn. I understand where Russell Westbrook comes from because honestly, personally, if you dunked it on me, I take it personal, but I wouldn't be like, hey man, I'm upset about. I wouldn't care about that. I'd be like, I'll get you next time we come out.
No, would you have threatened this whole team like Russell Westbrook did?
No, I wouldn't have did that. You know what I mean? Like, all right, we're gonna get you next time we see you. We just gonna beat y'all by 30 next time. So, that's what I would have done. It's like it's OKC or and then it's the Lakers. You got championship aspirations. You can't let stuff like that. You're not expected to let stuff like that get to you if you're the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, bro. Justin said I would have dunked
Chris would have dunked it with the Jeff Jarrett strut. Wouldn't you?
Actually, that's the Ric Flair strut. He stole that. So
I almost want to ask you to do the strut. Aaron Rodgers is rolling left and he's throwing a Hail Mary to the end zone, and it's caught by who? But by who?
Tell me you watching.
Watching it. It is an Arizona interception.
Oh, D Rose. What
by
is that?
Thompson in the end zone, and this game is at halftime. Green Bay 10, Arizona 7.
82-71 Knicks, 101 left in the third. Derrick Rose running down the court, tried to hit Emmanuel quickly with the no look behind the back pass. Instead, he found the people in the first row. That's what happened.
$1 million move, 2-cent finish. Yeah. Hey, next time you do a no-look pass, maybe you should look and see you're passing the ball to. Keep it on the court. Keep it on the court, Meek.
Shout out McKenzie.
Hey, McKenzie. Hey, Justin.
Justin said his daughter McKenzie say what up though.
Well, she's not on the show. You can put on the show, but maybe you can't.
He can't put.
Don't put on the show. Don't put on the show because Sam will get upset and it'll be our fault. So don't do that.
No, don't do that.
But shout out to McKenzie and shout out to Justin. I said something about the Lakers gelling. We saw the Howard and Davis push. We've seen the Westbrook up and down struggles. We've seen a little bit of LeBron and his little ankle issue when they finally did beat Memphis the other night. What's your early take here on the Lakers? Same thing, it being a favorite, so there's going to be like a little bit more spotlight on, a little bit more limelight.
What you mean, same poop, different toilet with LeBron teams?
Something like that. I mean,
that when they get together, where you get another star, and then they start out about what in 2011 with Miami, what they started like 9-8 or something, or 8-9 or something like that.
Here's the thing.
It's like, come on, dude, that happens. That always
LeBron
happens.
James has not won a season opener yet in LA.
But he won a championship though.
He's won a championship, so I guess he's getting a little bit used to these slow starts. I guess this year is just a little bit more different because one, it's a few more different parts to try to integrate. We talk about Carmelo Anthony and Russell Westbrook and the young guys, Nunn and Monk or whatever. And
one
also
thing I've noticed,
being a year older or whatever. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. One thing I was also noticed about like teams like, older veteran teams, they tend to start slow anyway. Like when you think about some of them older Spurs teams that will still win 50 games, they have some little soft starts. They come out the gates a little bit slow, but end up picking it up in the championship, into the playoffs. So, when you get older teams, they know when to turn it on, man. So,
well, we're definitely gonna find out if the Lakers know when to turn it on.
Now, hey, but let me say this though about that. The rest of the West look a little dangerous though, man. Like Minnesota look a little fun. They beat Milwaukee last night.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk too much about the Rockets, but I like Jalen Green, rookie of the year. That's my rookie of the year pick through 1 week. Denver, I would like to see if Jamal Murray comes back. Utah picking up where they left off. So the West is interesting right now.
Yeah. The West is very interesting. On the flip side of that, the East.
Sacramento.
Harrison Barnes making big shots, like he did last night on the road. So we're gonna see how Sacramento play out, man. Sacramento always do this and get your hopes up high, and they be battling for the 11th spot. In April, they be battling for the 11th spot. So we're gonna see how that finishes. I see the Bulls have made a Tony Bradley sighting here.
Yeah, all right. He got in at the end of the third too. So
it's Derrick Rose making a friend.
Justin said Utah destroyed the Rockets.
Yes, they did. I mean, no surprise there. It happens.
It happens, man. Hey, somebody got to be a cellar dweller, dog.
Hey, I think he's taking a shot, Justin. Don't take that.
Hey, man, what? Detroit cellar dwelling in both sports. I mean, Detroit 0-7, the Pistons 0-4. Like, come on, man. It's like they 0-11 right now.
Well, Justin, it's good that you're here right now because it's time to talk about the World Series.
I mean, hey, at least that's one sport Houston ain't cellar dwelling in, man.
And they're not hitting on, they're not hitting on things either. 7-2 win last night. Jose Altuve doing the damage with a big home run. Alex Bregman also drove in a run. You got Michael Brantley doing things at the top of that lineup. The first game, when the Braves won 6-2, the game when Charlie Morton broke his leg. Altuve, Correa, and Bregman went 0 for 12. Game 2, they went 3 of 12, but Altuve had the big hit and they had a couple of runs batted in. But I think really the key to this lineup, the Astros, as they go down here to Atlanta, is going to be Brantley in that 2-hole and Gurriel down in that 6 and 7 spot. And on the flip side of that, I picked Atlanta to win this series. Now you got a guy like Ian Anderson that's going to be taking the hill in Game 3 tomorrow against Luis Garcia. Anderson is a career 7-0 in the postseason, so he's come up big in these spots. How about Jorge Soler? 3 of 7 through the first couple of games. Had led off game 1 with that home run. Cubs could have used him.
Hey, man.
Soler in one outfield, Peterson in another outfield.
I picked the Astros to win this series. Justin in the chat, he said Astros is 6. He said we are hitting on these Braves pitchers, but he is worried about
on one Braves pitcher.
He
See it
said
on
he's
one
worried,
great picture.
but he did say he's worried about the lefties in games 4 and 5. But I still think Houston's gonna take it. I think that championship experience plus Atlanta, I gotta see it to believe it with Atlanta, any Atlanta team in championships, man. So I mean, I know the Braves won in '95, but Atlanta blew it last year too. So I'm gonna go with Houston. And Houston, man, like I said, I just think Houston is the buzzsaw this year. I thought it was Boston going into that ALCS, but watching Houston rally in that series, I just think they are the buzzsaw this year.
I'm gonna stick with my pick, and you're gonna stick with your pick. And you're raising your hand. Like
No, I'm sorry.
Somebody
Huge
saying
three.
something in class.
Huge 3 for Troy Brown Jr., but
You don't have to raise your hand to
down.
speak, Chris.
No, I was trying to throw. I was throwing the fingers up. Troy Brown 3, top of the key 3 from Alex Caruso, cut the Knicks lead to 6 with 10:36, 84-78.
Oh, that's always good to do.
Mitchell Robinson also down, holding an ankle at the end of that play. That's why they went to timeout.
I looked at bad. Looks like some very soft shoes. I have to do an investigation on the shoes these guys are wearing. Lamarier,
In the chat,
come here.
Justin Adams.
Come make $2.
In the chat, Justin
Having
Adams
Alvarez
said,
and Bradley in the field is somewhat a disadvantage. Yeah. McCormick would need to be huge in the ATL. Yeah, I agree. It's a different game with this in the National League part. We're gonna see how. But Dusty Baker, that's one thing about being a former National League manager. He will have some experience with dealing with the Nationals and the Giants and everything in the playoffs, navigating that bottom of that lineup, especially as they go into the late innings. And then also as we watch these playoffs and we watch all these like pitchers, for like 3 innings. He might be playing in Riddles.
Justin Adams said Mitchell Robinson playing here Riddles.
He better have 8 rebounds before he sprains his ankle because I got money on him. But yeah, man. I almost lost my train of thought messing with you guys. What was I
talking about? The Braves. You talking about the Braves?
Talking about the Braves again. Okay, I'm sticking to that pick. And it's going to be because of the pitching staff. We're seeing pitchers go 3 and 4 innings. So I want to see how Dusty tries to manage that, because you got a pitcher going out too early and you got that pitcher spot coming up, with somebody coming up, you be like, man, do I want to go for the 3-1? Do I want to try to stretch that 3-1 lead? Or do I need to just put my pitch up here and let them sacrifice to try to get some innings out of them? So it's going to be some decisions to be made down here in the dirty.
Astros. I got them winning this series.
You're just doing that because you want to be nice to Justin. I don't know what the big thing is.
I just told you I think the Astros
all this started with the Sox. It started with the Sox. Salute on having a 2-1 series lead. I never heard. What do you say at the end of the third quarter of a Bears playoff game? Salute to the Washington football team for being up 2014 after the third quarter. I mean,
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I just
Kristen Javier will be pitching more innings. What kind of picture is that Justin has? He looks very mean on that picture. Just a very intimidating looking picture.
Hey, Houston is the buzzsaw this year. And plus, I just can't trust Atlanta with the title on the line.
All right, that's fair. If that's your logic on it, that's fair, I guess. I'm not gonna knock it, Chicago Blackhawks.
87-78 Knicks.
Chicago Blackhawks are 0-7 this year. They've been outscored 30-14. And now, in one of the most glorious moments from the past in 2010, when they won the Stanley Cup, there's now an awful smear to that campaign.
Yeah.
As we learned this week that former player Kyle Beach was assaulted by video coach Brad Aldrich during the playoff run, while Beach had been called up during that playoff run. Stan Bowman, GM at the time, has stepped down and resigned right after that. Team was fined $2 million, and Gary Bettman has also had I know he had a talk with Joel Quinville. We'll see what comes of that. But wow. What
Yeah.
was your what do you make of this? I mean, this was like this was something that just was talking about shock value. I mean, wow.
Yeah, to say the least. I was like, wow, man, what's going on here, man? Because I didn't really know what was going on until I had saw pretty much the entire Black Hawks front office just like resign that day on Twitter. So when I saw that alert, I was like, man, what's going on here? But like you said, once again, it's just like a smear to what was a glorious time, 2010. I remember seeing them win the championship against Philadelphia. It's just crazy to think about, man.
This man. I mean, I said this guy also was did the same thing, I think, in 2013, I guess, when he left the Black Hawks. So it's just very unfortunate thing. And I guess, you think about something like this and you think, man, he's an athlete and you're a guy or whatever. You really don't know the situation. You wasn't there, whatever. It's pretty tough thing, I think, to even come forward with, especially you got to feel like I'm 20 already when this happens.
Yeah.
So, man, can only imagine. We got to do better, man. We got to clean some of this stuff up that we seeing here.
That's just like what we saw in the NFL some years ago. Remember with the Richie Incognito thing?
Yeah.
It's kind of just like that, man. So kind of remind me of that.
I request to be muted for 10 seconds.
You request to be muted for 10 seconds.
For 10 seconds.
10 seconds. 10. There you go, man. You got your mute. Justin Adams in the chat. Hey, man. Shout out Jalen Green. I think he might be NBA Rookie of the Year, bro. The Texans are trash. Because all I said was Jalen Green.
I'm having a very important heart-to-heart talk with my daughter.
Hey, I was sitting here keeping the show going. You asked to be muted. I muted you.
Okay, I didn't see you do anything, but you could have juggled or something. I don't know.
You was muted. You was muted up until you said, "Why are you laughing?" And then I told Justin that the Texans are trash.
Oh boy.
And then he said, "Look what he said. Agreed on all fronts."
He said he agreed on all fronts. I mean, the defensive front and offensive front, real trash.
And the Chicago Bears offensive front.
I'm not y'all fronts. You know what MC Breeze said, may he rest in peace. Ain't no future in your front. End. Ain't no future in your front. End. Ain't no future in your front.
I know what he said.
In your front. I did that.
High pick and roll. Zach LaVine to Vucevic, 92-82, 8:08 left in the fourth. Timeout.
I know. I'm sorry. You got a stick. Fire stick.
Oh, that's tough.
Versus. I don't know if you ever checked out if you get a chance to check out the BDK and KRS-One affair, but it was pretty entertaining. Me myself, I'm gonna say that I thought that in a very good close versus, I'm going with KRS-One. The reason I'm going with KRS-One just by a little bit, I think he did have a few more hits. They both was getting down on the freestyling. See, the freestyling, they both was freestyling great, so they kind of canceled each other out. That's when Kane was trying to pick up some of the slack and said, I'm just going to go freestyle. I got bars, put on that track. But KRS-One had bars too, plus he still had a few more hits. I did like it. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
I didn't see it, but Justin in the chat, he says
Big Daddy Kane won to him.
He said Big Daddy Kane won.
Yes. And he can say that too because it was a very good close versus. I bet it's a whole bunch of people that think that Big Daddy Kane won. Yeah, a lot of people that think that KRS-One won. I thought Big Daddy Kane was still performing and dancing at a high level.
He said those freestyles won for him.
They both had freestyles. He did a couple more freestyles than KRS-One. But you heard what KRS-One said. Man, you better play them hits. He said you want to freestyle because y'all ain't got no more hits. I got classics. That's when you play Love. Big Daddy Kane freestyle great. Then he played Love's Gonna Get You. I mean, and performed it at a high level. You know what I'm saying? So this was like what made this versus kind of cold and kind of dope to me was that both of the artists cared and they both were prepared for it. And that's what made it great for me. Not like
Hey, are you about to take
Dipset
a shot
came
at
in here just
Dipset? I knew you
half
was about
step
to talk about Dipset. Oh, you said they half
because
set.
they
Come on,
they
man.
was Big Daddy Kane said ain't no half stepping and they was half stepping. Big
Bro,
Daddy
come on, man.
Kane, KRS One, they both cared. They both brung it. They
How you know
both
that
brung it.
Dipset didn't care? Dipset probably cared, just probably couldn't get the songs cleared or something. You don't know what happened.
They had 3
Hey,
weeks.
ow.
I remember. Only thing I remember is JC, our good guy JC Relic and Jeff Trailer. And they was like, when Drew when they play this, what Locke's gonna do? And they was clowning me. I just don't hit like that. Then they watched the whole thing and they was so wrong. They apologized to me and everything. Wow. Oh,
I mean,
man. Come on,
he talk
Scrappy
about
Bulls.
Jadakiss and Dipset. He said Dipset wasn't winning that because the locks. But I mean, like Cameron said, man, they the best peas and carrots ever, man. They on like everybody's song. So I mean, and Reservoir Dogs is very hard. So of course.
And that was funny. I mean, they had some great jokes. I liked it when Jadakiss was like, hey, let's rap about anything. Let's rap about dinosaurs.
Oh man.
Then you ask, what is this guy put? What freaky Zeke? Who is he? Kevin Hart? There was a lot of good jokes and sidebars they had going. Now let's talk about this upcoming verses where everybody is telling me it's kind of they're telling me that this is they're talking to me like this is like a 3 seed against a 14 seed. And I don't think it really should be seen like that. Or maybe it should be. That's why I had Chris Rouse here, who was a little bit younger than me, to help me out about this next verses between Yo Gotti and T.I.
All right, hold on. I was watching the Bulls. Knicks is still up 10 with 7 minutes left. But Yo Gotti, T.I.
Actually up 12, and now back down to 10. T.I.
Yeah, I saw
easily.
that. Yeah, I got T.I. winning this, man. Yo Gotti is nice, man, but T.I. is a star, man. T.I. got longer range, bigger range. Yo Gotti got a lot of club hits too and a lot of features too, so don't sleep on Yo Gotti, but T.I.
Do you think this versus just happened here because I guess nobody can Mitchell Robinson changed shoes, I see. He had those
right?
like really turquoise shoes that looked very
Right.
soft. Now he's got some blue ones on.
Probably got more padding after he messed his ankle up.
Yeah. So Yo Gotti is like the real underdog in this. Like T.I.'s got the street stuff, he's got the underground, the mainstream.
I mean, T.I. is considered like a trap god, man. Like, come on, dude. Like when they talk about who are the trap guys, you hear Gucci, Jeezy, and T.I. Like, come on.
Right. So
and sometimes
like
sometimes T.I. first, because trap music, his first album. Or second album.
So like when I asked you that a couple of weeks ago about the Mount Rushmore of trap music, and you said they probably could just leave it with those 3 on there.
Yeah, man. Like who?
And you already had Jeezy go against Gucci in the verses, and I guess T.I. was trying to find like a hard person to like match up with. I guess down in the South, was it a T.I. against Rick Ross? Was it T.I. against you gotta mention what?
I'm glad you mentioned what you said about Gucci and Jeezy. About that verses, because that's another verses where I feel like all the songs that could have been used weren't used by Gucci. So because he had club bangers. Because I thought Gucci should have won that. When I thought about coming into it song wise, I thought Gucci should have won that.
I felt like that about a lot of verses. Like I always feel like that most of the time about the lose. Like they ain't even used that. Why didn't they use that? Why they ain't go to that? So that's a very good point. He tried 50 Cent and boys laughed. You're right. I mean, T.I. against 50 Cent, I don't know how that would have turned out. I mean, Busta's still looking for somebody. He's having a hard time finding the party. I don't know if T.I. and Busta would have been too different to go against each other. I guess same kind of era, I guess kind of sort of. I guess T.I. a little bit more recent than Busta, but I don't know, man. It's crazy right now. Shout out to Swiss Beats. Shout out to Timbaland. We're very entertained by all these verses.
Man.
Mr. Robinson getting the lead back to a dozen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
That was good defense by Lonzo before he got it though. When he was guarding Randall.
Good shit, Vooch. Can't stop nobody though. Can't get a stop.
Look like the Knicks gonna do it, man. They might get the Bulls their first loss this year.
Why you sound so happy?
I didn't. I was just saying.
You sounded happy. You sounded cheerful. You sounded
the pressure.
You said that with a lot of positive energy.
They get the pressure off. Captain Caruso. That's what Justin says. That's his new nickname. Yeah, basically. Like Captain Kirk.
I guess we can call him that. Captain
They
Caruso.
can't lose on Joakim night, man. They can't lose on Joakim night. Come on, man.
They doing a good. They better have like a line night run in them.
You know what?
On ball.
If they lose on Joakim night, D Rose better get like the last 10 or something, man. Like that's the only way I'll accept this.
Oh wow.
Heart, hustle, and muscle, man.
Heart, hustle, and muscle. Okay, here I come with the I'm finna say it with a lot of emotion. I haven't said it in a while. The doors are closed. Everybody has their door closed. Okay, I'm finna get into it. Bad mother. Every great show should have their own great theme music. We feel like we should have our theme music. James Brown and the Blackbirds and Funky Medley. And it's played in Rock Creek Park and it features the Blackbirds.
Yeah. Justin said the same thing I said. It's got to be D Rose to close it out, man. Come on. But the principal's office. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The principal's office. Ain't that how the dude said it? The Toon Squad. He said his Space Jam.
That's how he said it. You're right.
The Toon Squad. Now standing at a voluptuous 5'2".
Before we get into this principal's office, I had breaking news just into me 18 minutes ago. Joel Quenneville is resigned as the coach of the Florida Panthers in wake of the Blackhawks sexual abuse case. That's Joel Quenneville of the former coach of the Blackhawks. He was the coach when Cal Beach was allegedly assaulted by Brad Aldrich, the video coach. He is now resigned as the coach of the Florida Panthers. Stan Bowman, the GM at the time, resigned last week when this all first broke. So, you have any reaction to that? It kind of felt like this might have been on the cusp of.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that might have been on the cusp of happening, man. Like, because that's usually how that goes. Remember, didn't it happen like with the Mets or in the Red Sox a few years ago or something like that? That's happened with the Astros. That's happened to a lot of different teams, man. So
that's breaking news. Joel Quenneville has resigned as the coach of the Florida Panthers in relation to the Blackhawks sexual assault.
Now, when you see Joseph Gregory, now here's a guy in Joseph Gregory. When he drops back at quarterback, he just reminds me of Rodney Peete, the guy that I used to play with Madden 64 on the Eagles. Get him sacked 4 times a day like the Bears do Justin Fields.
Just holding that ball a little bit too long, Justin. You gotta let that ball rip. Now, you gotta have that anticipation. Let that ball rip.
Now, here's a guy in Jared Mustafer. He just gets beat off the line. Like when you see
what's your word of the day, man? What's the word of the day, man? What's the word of the day?
My word of the week. My word of the week. My word of the week is Bulls basketball. So my word of the week is fun because Chicago Bulls basketball has been fun. Might not be fun in these next 3 minutes, but but yeah, man.
You're something else.
What, man? I can't say nothing on this show no more, man.
You can. I mean, be informed, be entertained. I might have been.
Bro,
How you know?
It ain't my fault Detroit is a combined 0-4-11. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
How do you know? How do you know I wasn't being complimentary and saying you're something else in a good way? See?
Because Detroit is 0-4-11, and you know it. How am I supposed to not say something about that, man? Win some damn games.
My word of the week. I'm stealing your word of the week. My word of the week is sassy. Yeah.
How's that my
sassy? Because it's mine.
word?
Sassy means lively, bold, and full of spirit. And that's how the Cowboys will be when they take the field on Sunday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. They'll be lively and bold and full of spirit. See how I use that?
Ratchet, bougie, nasty.
They're not ratchet. They're not bougie.
I ain't saying they are. I'm just thinking of Megan Thee
I know
Stallion.
I know. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion.
Shout out Megan Thee Stallion.
My daughter had the hottie sauce. She said it wasn't too hot the other day. She made me buy the hottie sauce or whatever. I don't get it. I mean, they have a lot of it there still. So I guess he's just saying that to be a troll.
Yeah, see, anyway, he talking about me.
I mean, I'm not going to talk about it. His team is 1-for-6. He doesn't even know any better right now, for heaven's sake.
Hey, man, they doing better than the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. I guess when you look at it like that, they are.
Shout out Detroit. It's all love. I just want to see Dan Campbell get a win, man. I just want to see him get a win, bro.
Oh boy, he gonna beat the Bears on Thanksgiving. I only have one goal.
Man, I know that's exactly how that's gonna go. Watch. That's exactly how that goes.
I got one goal.
That's exactly how that's gonna go too. Hey, the Bears gonna be like 5-6. Hey, the Bears gonna be like 5-6, bro. And it'd be like if they lose this, they probably gonna be done, and they lose to Detroit on Thanksgiving. Like I can totally see that happening.
That's terrible. Just terrible.
It would be
terrible.
Gold Stars, man. Hey, by the way, Justin agreed with me too, man. He said he want to see. He said I need Dan Campbell to get a win, man. I want to see him win.
Why you need to get him? Why do y'all need?
Because man, that man out here crying and he want to bite people in the kneecaps.
I mean, when he was gouging people in when he was gouging people in the eyes, he wasn't crying. When he was, you gotta walk the walk. If you can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk. Don't be up here start crying in the middle of it when you figure it's gonna be a little bit harder to hit people in the kneecaps. It's gonna be a little bit harder to hit people and get these low blows out. It's gonna be a little bit harder to gouge people's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to cry.
Yeah, he said he out here crying, pulling Captain Insano moves. That's
what I'm saying. He got a lot of emotion.
Captain Insano shows no mercy, homie.
That's right.
Shout out to Waterboy. Me and my baby was watching that recently. Who's in there dying watching that, man? Shout out, man.
Bulls trail by 6. Under a minute left, 54.5 seconds left. Knicks with 7 on the shot clock, and it's 48 for 3, and it is in and out.
It's tough for them.
Randall misses on the putback. Bulls with the ball.
Let's go.
Can cut it in half, and he does for 3.
Yeah, let's go.
For 3. The lead is down to 3 with 40 seconds left. Listen to this crowd at the United Center. Bulls on a 10-0 run. Bulls on a 10-0 run. Kemba is double teamed. 27 seconds left. Caruso on Walker. 5 on the shot clock. Walker trying to get to his spot. Walker. Threw it up. Short off the rim.
Walker.
Bulls with the rebound. 14.8 seconds left, and Billy Donovan wants to talk about it. Time out, Chicago.
He's Walker. Hey, that's all right. I'm a commentator. I know how it is in the moment sometimes, man.
Yeah, it's terrific. You had to be there.
What's up with your voice, man?
Oh, that was my Joseph Harlan.
Walker.
That was my Joseph Harlan. He just kept pivoting because Caruso was all over him like a cheap suit.
Oh man. Justin said gold star to he
Jalen
said gold
Green
star
for
to
his first
Jalen Green.
30-point game.
Yeah, for the 30-point game. That's a Rocket rookie record.
Oh, congratulations, Jalen.
Yeah.
My gold star goes to Rays outfield and DH Nelson Cruz, who received the Roberto Clemente Award. He did a lot of good things during the pandemic, as far as giving out supplies and financial support, and also himself to those relief efforts. So my gold star goes to Nelson Cruz. What is so funny about that? What are you laughing at?
My gold star. I'm still thinking about you talking about Walker. Walker.
That was an audition tape right there. That was an audition tape right there live
on
like,
there. Walker.
I should have just said at the end of it, Texas Rangers.
Hey, shout out Nelson Cruz, man. Hey, everybody can't make the play in Game 6.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I only thought about that because I saw that came up on YouTube recently, and I remember watching that live. And they hit that boy. And my roommate in college, he walked into the dorm. He was like, "Yo, man, if they lose Game 7, oh my God, that's gonna follow him the rest of his life." And I was like, "Ouch." like ouch, because then they end up losing Game 7.
He shouldn't have said it then. Ball on the inbounds for the Bulls. It's Levine. He's guarded by Taj Gibson. He goes past him like he wasn't there and throws down a two-hand dunk. 9.5 seconds left. Thibodeau calls a timeout. Bulls down by 1. Knicks taking a timeout. Let me get Harlan Collinsworth and the key to leave as a team.
Joseph Gregory with no regard for human life.
Now here's a guy that never had a value.
Hey, we ain't even. Hey, you look like a keep. You look like a keep to lead. That's enough.
I do. Oh, I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
Now
it's the last time you go hear it. It just worked for the joke.
Okay, it just worked for the show.
It just worked for the joke.
I'm like, baby, do I look like him? Pull up on
Hey,
Twitter. Like
put the turtleneck on, maybe.
I got one. I might do that.
Get
any more? What's the other gold stars? You only had one.
Yeah, it was Joakim Noah, man. Heart, hustle, and muscle, man. Shout out to Joakim Noah, man. Having his night being honored in Chicago, much deserved, man. I feel like I grew up with him like I did Derrick Rose, and I was in college, so it's like, being an adult and actually like seeing these dudes hoop is a little different. That's like the first group I saw as an adult. So shout out to them.
Hey man, you ain't got to just keep rap. I was in college too. Who you think you were?
I'm like, what? I'm like, damn, bro.
You know what?
Justin. All you need, Joe. He said all you need is a black turtleneck and a gold chain.
I have a blue turtleneck. If you guys can give me just a platinum chain, I will wear it next week on Student to the Game.
I give you some 10 foil.
I got 10 foil.
Oh yeah, you get a 10 foil chain, twisted up in the form of
the Knicks could not get the ball in. They have to burn another timeout. Still 104, 103 with 9.5 seconds left. I don't have anything for detention. I feel bad.
You don't got nothing for detention.
I don't even have nothing for detention.
You ain't got nothing for detention. I don't really have nothing for it either, to be honest with you. I lied, man. Oh, one more gold star, man. Here, I got one more gold star. Gold star to Harrison Barnes, man. He been hooping. Harrison Barnes been hooping this season, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so shout out to him, man.
Harry B for the big 3 last night for the game winner walk off on the Suns and everything.
Yeah, and then he had the game last week with like 8 threes. So shout out to him.
Well,
Justin said he'd be Mike Pereira. Just cut to him for replays.
Hey, well, you gotta know what the Golden State Warriors are thinking right now. Like, hey, you could have did that. We could have never got Kevin Durant if you could have did that years ago. You had to go against LeBron James. With 73-9, you can hit the side of a barn. You can hit the water if you were sitting in a boat. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you want to go to Sacramento and do this. And they did. They could have won too, though.
That wasn't his fault.
I mean,
Draymond got suspended.
He did. Things happen.
He shouldn't have been suspended, I don't think, but
Ooh. Oh my God. Wait, get the stretcher, get the stretcher, get the stretcher, get the stretcher. I got 2 players down. They just knocked each other out. Get the stretcher. I got 1 player's gonna have a bad leg injury. Ooh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was a hellacious collision to start the second half. We're gonna have the
Chargers.
Green Bay return, guys. His knee is just been taken apart. And the Cardinal guy that hit him, he hit him with like a low hit, and like he did, and knocked himself in the next, at least January of next year. So they're both down right now. Stretchers are bringing carts out. That's going to be a while for this. Can I get back to the United Center in time?
Yeah, let's see, man.
All right, we got Julius Randle at the line right now with 5 seconds left. Knicks leading 104-103. Nobody has a detention. We're going to watch this game for the next 5 seconds. Randle misses the first free throw. Fans cheer insanely. Thabo Cephalosha at the game here.
Yeah, shout out Thabo. Shout out Thabo. Kirk Henry there too. Lou Aldang.
Yes, he was. Lou Aldang
was out there.
No, Lou Aldang. He the one. He got that A-Rab money. He got A-Rab money. He got to hang out with Lou Aldang. Did DeRozan foul out?
Who made that song? Was that Ron Browse that made that?
Mm-hmm.
Or was that the Swiss Beats?
Ron Browse.
Yeah, it's either Ron Browse or Swiss Beats made that.
Sam, he missed both. Randall missed both. He missed both. Timeout Bulls. Timeout Bulls with 4.7 seconds left to have a chance to win again.
Walker. That's tough, man.
Tougher than the $2 steak.
That is tough for the New York Knicks, man. Come on, Bulls. Pull it out, homie.
I'm going to pull it out.
Get it for me. Get that win, Bulls.
So we'll see if we can have some real emotion on this show. The Bulls have scored 12 straight points. They were down 104-91. Currently down 104-103. In the football game, Tony Kukoc also here. I just told you what happened. You'll see it later on. I guess you get a chance to watch. They have a cart out here. Kylan Hill was the guy for the Packers that got hurt. And they're taking him off on the cart. And the Cardinal that got hurt, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I won't say it right now. First name is John, but they need to take another break because they can't move him yet off the field. We're going to take another break there. So we're back to United Center. We're going to be here for the end of this Bulls game. (104-103). See who tries to play the hero for the Bulls. I think DeRozan is fouled out. Not sure. I see ball on the floor. Levine will be the inbounder. But DeRozan is in the game with Vucevic.
Yeah, there you go.
And Caruso. 4.8 seconds left. Levine looking to get the ball in. Throws it into DeRozan.
Get it in.
DeRozan has it. DeRozan pulling up for the win. And he missed everything.
Damn.
He missed everything.
Damn.
And the Bulls have lost their first game of the year.
Can't go 82-0, man.
No, you can't.
Can't go 82-0.
He should have just rose up right there. He shouldn't even hesitated. I think he should have just rose up. I think the little hesitation right there.
Can't expect to go 82-0. It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
But all right.
But we went 149-0. This is a 149 show.
That's what it say, man. 149 of them things.
Yeah. Shout out to the whole world. Shout out to my family. Shout out to Twin. Keep making that speedy recovery, bro. Keep making that recovery, man. Yeah. Keep making that recovery, man. God is good all the time, man. And man,
shout out my family, man. Yeah, shout out my family, friends.
Yeah, do that.
Shout out Rod and Justin for joining us in the chat. Shout out Desi. And, you know, that's it, man. Shout out to
You up here,
everybody else, man.
you up here,
Positivity, all that good stuff.
you up here raising standards and stuff. Hey, man. And you know what? I think we're gonna do this again next week. How about that? Maybe.
I gotta
We'll
check the
try.
schedule. I gotta check the schedule,
I've
but
been,
you know.
Okay, they got the guy up from the Cardinals up. He's put the thumbs up. They've had to take the face mask off the helmet. You know, you got to do that with the neck thing, and he's being taken off the
Yeah.
field now. So for Dr. Chris Rouse, I'm Dr. Joseph Gregory. Thanks for everybody for joining in the chat, including Dr. Justin Adams. He ain't supposed to be in the chat. He's supposed to be on the other box down here, but it's all good. We'll see y'all Monday for sure. We'll see about next Thursday. Peace.